The Indiana Fever are planning to ship Caitlin Clark to the Los Angeles Sparks. I expect UCLA coach Corey Close to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Sparks. Corey Close, after that championship game that she won with the UCLA Bruins, she's been very adamant. She's been very upfront. Yeah, all this transfer portal stuff, I'm not really sure.
No one is willing to admit on TV that there is more going on in the Indiana Fever locker room. A video of Caitlin Clark, the future star of the Indiana Fever, sitting on the bench with fire was released a few days ago. Became viral on social media in her eyes. The head coach, Stephanie White, went up to Clark and said, and instructed Raven Johnson to sit in Clark's place. Diffuse the tension. Clark shook his head. Mitchell Kelsey leaned in. The camera told the truth. Prior to continuing, Clark and White met with the media and declared that nothing. White said, to seed it wasn't a story. They were just two ambitious, competitive people, as stated by Clark. Alright, but the issue is that you begin to question what two people are actually trying to conceal when they must declare in public that they are not engaged in combat. Perhaps this is the most bizarre rumor about Caitlin Clark to yet. The Indiana Fever may trade Caitlin Clark to the Los Angeles Sparks, according to a developing report. No reliable reports have verified but the fact that people are talking about it at all indicates how irritated some fans are with the Fever at this moment. Because after that, what happened? Trade rumors, tales of a secret meeting, and a former NBA champion asserting on social media that Clark is wanted by Indiana. Well, let's talk about what's really taking place. That's nothing new, but it seems like everyone anticipates that we will depart from where we were a year ago. Indeed, we have a number of players from the previous season, but we also have a large number of new players who are playing a lot of minutes for us. Only takes a moment, in my opinion, to establish chemistry, rhythm, and mutual trust. I believe that this is a typical team task, but we must act quickly. Everyone is a little irritated with the way we're playing since we all understand that we're superior to it. However, I believe that occasionally you need these kinds of things in order to find the source of the issue at hand. On a podcast, Sophie Cunningham said that the Fever had sparked what she described as a long team meeting after back-to-back losses. She didn't give any details, however. Something is suggested by the fact that she called it long. Teams don't have long meetings when things are going well. Things start to become intriguing at this point because the atmosphere coming from outside is quite different. The structure. Although the Fever camp's official narrative claims that everything is okay, Sophie Cunningham made an attempt to show that Clark and White appreciate one another and that the team is uniting to give her credit. To portray it in a positive way, and Cece are fiercely competitive individuals who only care about winning. Additionally, you occasionally run into each other. However, it was all done with the intention of achieving the same goal. Ultimately, we weren't playing well. I don't support what she did. I believe you can improve the way you react to situations, but she would say the same thing. And both she and Steph are doing well. And that's their relationship. Later that evening or early the following day, they discussed it and gave it a hug. Almost every day while you are in highly competitive scenarios, there will be events throughout the week. However, as I mentioned earlier, everything you do is scrutinized. For someone, everything you say will be a highlight reel. Additionally, I believe that the media enjoys dividing people when there isn't always separation. She claims that Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White are basically two fiercely competitive people who occasionally conflict as a result of their shared desire for success. Be honest, it's the most tactful thing she could have said. She didn't say that they were in love though, if you read between the lines. The chemistry isn't really good. In her opinion, she said, they disagree, but they both want the same thing. We call that an uncomfortable partnership during a challenging season in a league when every game is closely watched. In just a few minutes, it was examined and posted on social media. It is neither an uneasy relationship nor a partnership. The Fever PR machine can temporarily control the narrative, but you have no control over what is already taking place within the locker room. For me, that would mean a great deal. I'm hearing from a reliable source, declares Michael Tom. Caitlin is no longer desired by the Fever. Go get her immediately, Sparks. Additionally, unless he publicly declares that he's chilling. I'm accepting this at face value. I'm treating this seriously. I do not consider this to be clickbait. He has trustworthy sources, in my opinion. I do think he has contacts in the WNBA. I do think he has contacts with the Los Angeles Sparks. And I do think that he has floated it in the same manner as Dan Dokich has, that I think it was proposed by Thompson, Michael. They don't really like them. In June, the entire basketball internet came to a complete standstill. Third, when Michael Thompson, the father of a 4-time NBA champion and color analyst for Los Angeles Lakers radio shows, Klay Thompson, penned a piece on X. This isn't a blue, anonymous account with 400 followers. A checkmark. This person is well connected to the Los Angeles basketball world, has a media presence, and rings from NBA championships. He doesn't share this kind of information for fun. He was drawn to something. And he went public since the individual who told him had such strong feelings about it. But it didn't stop there. Shortly after, Thompson doubled down. In another post he said, "Yeah, I hear the Fever are sick of Clark. Do you hear that too? I'm over Clark." Those 3 words. The internet went crazy. Immediately declined to issue an official statement, instead depending on the usual mute denials from people who emphasized that any rumors that Clark was reachable were untrue. On paper, that appears reassuring. But there's an issue with both the NBA and sports in general. The conversation has already advanced. By the time a rejection is issued, the seed has been sown, and the question has been asked. People also start forming relationships. They had nothing to look for. Yes, I said that earlier today, and I believe it's one of. To be honest, that game was one of my first truly memorable experiences in this league. Yes, was it? Yes, the first victory at IT was also one of my first road journeys. I didn't do well in that game, but I only recall making some huge shots towards the end. The surroundings are amazing. I recall that when Klay Thompson was courtside, there was quite. For that game, there were a few famous stars present. This is incredibly entertaining, much like when I'm asked in an interview. And I'm always thinking about some of my favorite spots to perform, like this. So I'm really thrilled. It was undoubtedly difficult to watch from the sidelines last year, but my squad had some exciting games here. Since the plot shifts from drama to strategy at this point, let's return and play from this. Now let's talk about the Los Angeles perspective. When the Fever struck on May 13th, Caitlin Clark was feeling optimistic. Before the game, she was accessible to the media in Los Angeles to face the Sparks. She smiled. In response to questions, she said that it seemed like a normal road trip, with the Fever winning 87-78. Clark looked more like herself than she had in weeks, scoring 24 points and dishing out 9 assists. But there was more going on in Los. The speculations that are already circulating claim that Angeles is more behind the scenes than a basketball game. Clark allegedly had a private conversation with people connected to the Sparks organization. This was neither a league-approved meeting nor an official trade transaction. The kind of conversation in which, whether on purpose or not, a player starts to think about what a new scenario might involve. Regardless of how exactly that, the meeting had place, and the optics are already hurting. Because everything in Los Angeles started to make sense as soon as, in his assertion, Michael Thompson named the Sparks as the club that should. To go fetch her. Consider what the Sparks now possess. Caitlin Clark's former Iowa co-worker earlier in the season. Throughout her basketball career, she has trusted Kate Martin, who signed a contract with Los Angeles. Cameron Brink, a young, versatile big man who can spread the ball and guard the rim, is another member of the team. Field. The foundation for an environment that is favorable to Clark is already being established in Southern California. I believe there is smoke in this area. Although I'm not certain a trade will occur, I don't believe the Indiana Fever is just as fond of Caitlin Clark as the front office wants us to think. Lynn Dunn is also going out of her way, reposting previous statements made by Carolyn Peck. We are also aware of Carolyn Peck's emotions. Concerning Caitlin Clark, we are fully aware of Carolyn Peck's feelings for Caitlin Clark. Carolyn Peck discussing the Standard. Stephanie White discussed the Standard yesterday. The Standard, Lynn Dunn, returns today. It will be a very fascinating issue to keep an eye on. Behind the scenes, will Kathy Engelbert and Adam Silver say, "We had to transport her to Los Angeles. In the same manner as we had to transport Luka to Los Angeles, we were able to transport Cece to return, well, and begin the showtime in a mid-market city. The Indiana Fever are a mid-market team. They have a passionate fan following, have been competitive, and have Caitlin Clark, the biggest star in women's basketball at the moment. Indianapolis is neither New York nor Los Angeles. This is something that no one in the mainstream sports media wishes to state clearly, that the WNBA is aware of a serious market issue. Furthermore, a league that is desperately trying to avoid having its crown jewel play in a smaller market faces a structural challenge to grow both domestically and abroad. Next up come the Los Angeles Dodgers. Recently, the Los Angeles Lakers were purchased from the Buss family by the Dodgers ownership group, providing substantial financial resources, commercial ties, and brand infrastructure to one of the most prominent teams in the NBA. Additionally, the Sparks are now They develop into a fascinating chess piece as a member of the Los Angeles sports landscape. Stadium belongs to an owning group at cryptocurrency, Dodgers cash, and Lakers prestige. The Sparks would own the capital, marketing infrastructure, and media ties to develop into a genuine WNBA powerhouse at Com Arena, the same location where the Lakers played. Add to that mixture Clark, Caitlin, and you are building both a team and a global brand. The notion that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver